we feel it in us. And when it feels distant, we sing it
It
out,
needs
and the
to leave
world
with
around
us.
us reverberates, and that reverberation leads us home.
So when I first went in, there was a collective group there, a lot of gold, and there was a very clear invitation to participate with them and a message that they are in service. When we brought in the center of the room, in the chair, our guide, my guide sat there, and then if you imagine that the chair he sat in became one chair in a circle of chairs, and they showed me that the circle of chairs can rotate like a cassette, and a different guide can be brought in at different times because they each have something unique to offer out of that. In that scene, there's the cassette that I was looking at, and more beyond these cassettes of masters and help and support, almost like a coliseum of it. They started toning. They started, oh, and there's a lot of energy there. They started using their voice and toning, and what the toning did was create a vortex, but I was in it and buffeting, and it became the eternal flame. I was standing in the eternal flame. Uh, Now, I also saw a scene where I'm standing on, as if we're in a cave, and in the cave, I'm standing on a pillar of land, and there's no other pillar. There's only cloud, and uh, I can't see beyond this. And the message here, and as the message comes, the cloud kind of separates, and I see that there's another step. Um, so I take that step, and the message that came with that is, as you go, more will be revealed to you. Um, and I feel that this is about that divinely held support, uh, eternal flame, grounding, and like there's a lot of messages that want to come through, and they seem to want to know why no one's there to collect them. And that's all, unless there's a question.
What is the most important message that is waiting for us to hear?
There's no wrong answer. There's only the way you choose to go.
What would they
And
most... Go ahead.
that's just steeped in a lot of love.
What would they most like us to receive from them?
The the message here is that they are us. And this is not something that's out of reach to us. This is something that we can all allow ourselves to reach for and become. So the message is we are, we are.
And they observe that nobody is here to receive the messages. What is the main block in humanity to receiving their messages?
Fear, and the purpose of fear is to perpetuate fear. Fear keeps us closed off from the heart. The block is fear.
What is our way out of fear?
Love.
How do we...
Open the heart. Yeah, open the heart. Walk the world. As difficult as it is, walk the world with the open heart.
So that sounds easy, but to one who is completely in a state of fear, what can be a first step towards love?
So this vessel stands in a position this vessel stands in a position where he perceives himself to be in a world of flame. And it's the small step every day that makes the difference. It's the and I think we've said this before, it's the try this one, try this one. And every day you try this one, it's easier to try it's easier to try the next.
Does anyone else have a question for Greg while he's channeling? So many people feel alone, and while we understand that they are there to support us, how can people know and feel that in a way that's more tangible to them?
Alone is an illusion. There's no such thing as separation. This is part of the experience that we come to here. We come to this place of forgetfulness and find our way back to the remembering and reclamation of the fact that we are all always connected, always one. So part of this is the acceptance that everything we need is within, and knowing that there's no such thing as alone.
Would one come forward and give us a message of hope for humanity?
The sun shines brighter and there's more energy coming through that activate all of you. You don't understand what this means yet, and some perceive it to be unwell. As this filters through the body and opens up and the flowering occurs, humanity will find itself in a new place that it has not been before. This is a field of flowers that I see here. I gotta stop now, my body's shaking.
Our song goes to the clouds as we walk to our homeland, say the Gaiwu group of women. The clouds collect the sound, they say, and later it will rain. Just feel into that. The clouds collect the sound, and later it will rain. Accumulation, gathering magic.
I take you now to see that hospital, the healing with the sound.
Stories about ancient healing techniques were passed down from generation to generation by the elders. Hakim explains how sound played a part in diagnosing and healing patients.
That line of construction, you see like 3 chambers, it's what's left of the house of the spirit. And it's a healing system with a sound. It's a medical investigation table. And the patient have the right to use either side of the stairs, one on the right, one on the left. So he have to follow, or she have to follow her own antenna to climb up there and choose the point where she stands. Because each point is connected to a cheek chamber. We have 22 of them, 11 on each side, no ceiling. And when you go inside, you can see a niche where the physician put his head in the niche to see what's the matter with his patient laying on this table. And that works with the sound. And the sound source is running water in a tunnel underneath here. So it's a big map of tunnels underneath here.
Let's consider that the pyramid sites along the Band of Peace are sophisticated harmonic structures, not only mirroring positions of the stars, but designed to replicate harmonic cavities of the human body. It seems that the chambers in the pyramids are harmonically tuned to a specific frequency or musical tone.
The Mu are the carriers of the legacy of the Hi'e, octopus, which is documented as being the only animate, intelligent species to have survived from the last universe, Ma-Ra-Na, into this current universe. The body, behavior, and brilliance of the octopus tells us everything we need to know about what the previous universe was and how it has formed and how it has blessed our own.
It seems to me that we are living in a time of prophecy, a time of definitions and decisions. We are the generation with the responsibilities and the option to choose the path of life for the future of our children.